What's up? Welcome back. We're on another X4 today, taking a little break from the GSX, which you'll see next week. So first off, we have some new stuff in the store. And the new stuff in the store is an 88 steering nozzle to make your nozzle closer to an 85, 88, which is found on like R&D or something. That would cost you $350 or $425 now for kind of a clapped out one, so it's not really worth it. We have a hard jet kit for the exhaust, which makes the exhaust behave more like a Rossier exhaust. We have trim tabs. We had someone start making trim tabs for us that are exact replicas of R&D 3-degree trim tabs for the X4. So that stuff is now live on the store. It's right on our homepage. You scroll to the bottom, you'll see all the new products. Also, the GSX giveaway is still there. The GSX giveaway is going to run until probably the Monday. So what would that be? June 10th. We'll probably stop collections for entries June 10th. It's a maximum of 145 entries. We have a decent amount now, nothing really to talk about, but the thing that we have to express to you is that we are giving the thing away no matter what. So I don't care if there's one entry, all 145 entries, or the 50 that are there right now. No matter what, June 12th, YouTube Live, we're giving the thing away. It's somebody else's.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah. So we're gonna show you the new products on this thing, and then either in this video or another video, this thing's fully restored, looks great, except for this bar pad. The bar pad's gummy. You can't save the bar pad, and a used bar pad that is in good condition, good enough for this ski, is like $350. So we're gonna do long requested video. We're gonna do aftermarket handlebars, buttons, finger throttle, grips, the whole thing, so it'll be close to looking like a UMI, but won't be a UMI, if that makes sense. So without further ado, we will walk over to the bench and we'll show you the new products, and then we will show you the products installed on this thing. All right, so for comparison reasons, we have a Rossier exhaust on the bench and we have a stock exhaust. So your main differences in a Rossier exhaust is the Rossier exhaust is shaped completely different. For the head pipe, it is a smaller diameter. If you talk about like a Spec 2 pipe, it's a larger diameter. The factory pipe is a larger diameter. It's the same till about almost here, and then it expands. Rossi continues all the way through. The one huge difference is that, well, I can't get it loose, but underneath this fitting is a jet, okay? It takes a main jet, and that's how you tune all the water for it to get more power or less power or better low, better high, whatever, right? You change your jet for your water that's coming into your whole system. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove this fitting, and we have a new fitting that we have drilled and tapped, which this is a larger diameter, so it's hard to drill and tap it correctly, but this is drilled and tapped and has a main jet in it. So we're gonna now control the water flow that's coming into our exhaust system. And then for the rear, on a Rossi, this will be taken off, and there's a spray bar on the stinger. So what the spray bar on the stinger does is add more water to cool the system so it doesn't melt the rear tube, but also cools this rear coupling. So now if we jet this pipe here accordingly to where it's giving us enough water, but not too much water for performance value, if this gives it enough water to change the sound waves in the exhaust to be a tighter pattern, which is what that's doing, and cooling the pipe at the same time, all we have to do is remove this Rave valve on the back, which controls your water to the actual head pipe and to the water box. So we're taking this out of play, we're taking our fitting out of play, and we're putting another one of our jets with the spray bar, or the fitting with our jet, into the water box. So those are the two things you're doing. So if you bought this kit from our store, you're gonna remove this 90-degree elbow. You're gonna have to remove your bracket to do it. Some people do it straight. I've seen other people do it straight. I wouldn't recommend doing it straight. It's harder to change a jet and your line can get kinked. Remove the bracket really quick, spin it around. We'll show you how we clock this so we can see everything, but you're gonna install your first one. It is marked head pipe. You're gonna install one of those in there. You're gonna remove this straight fitting after you remove your Rave. You're gonna install the other fitting with the jet for the water box. And then we're gonna use an inline filter for filtering out all of our particulates like sand and debris and everything in the lakes. And then we use our Y fitting, which is gonna come into play to feed the water box, and then this will come out and feed the head pipe. So with that, your exhaust will act closer, not spot on, but closer to a Rossier pipe. The kit's 65 bucks. I use Rossier pipes, 350, 400, sometimes 5, depending on the condition. So I've done this on a lot of customer skis, and I've done it on some of my skis when I didn't want to spend the money on an aftermarket exhaust. It does make a difference. Is it a factory Spec 2 pipe? Absolutely not. Will you notice a difference? 100%. So we'll go over to the ski now that we restored that has the actual jet kit installed, and I'll go over like how everything should look, and then we'll move on to our nozzle upgrade. All right, to better explain to you guys, we have this outside of the boat so you can see it and we're not fighting with the dark hull. So this is what is feeding your current Rave valve that is in your water box. So your water box is here, your Rave valve is hooked up to this. This comes in at the bottom side of the Rave valve, and then the top side of the Rave valve, you'll have a hose that comes from the top up to your head pipe. So you're gonna remove this entire line completely, remove the line to the head pipe completely, and then remove the Rave valve. Once you do that, you'll just have a 1/4 inch barb hanging out of here. You're leaving this whole T in play. You can even leave this on the back of your boat, and you can leave this hooked up to the head. We can manipulate it from there. So once you have this step down, you're ready to install your first elbow with your jet on the water box, which we'll show you now. All right, so here's your T that was in play. You're gonna put a 1/4 inch line. This is all pre-cut, ready to go for you. You're gonna put your first 1/4 inch line on the T. The next 1/4 inch line is going to go to the straight, and you wanna make sure your Y is pointed towards your water box. You're gonna clock this actual fitting that comes in your kit so that it lines up perfectly with this and doesn't have some crimped hose like off like this. I put a little 518 on the fitting. You guys can put Teflon or whatever you want, but I put 518. The next hose is gonna come from the other side of this Y fitting. It's gonna come up through this wiring, which I then zip tie so it's not flopping around the hull. You're gonna follow it all the way this way. You're gonna, like I said before, you're gonna remove your actual exhaust bracket so that you can spin this OEM fitting out of the way. You're gonna put the new fitting that comes with our kit in and is already assembled with the jet. You're gonna screw it in, same thing, 518 or Teflon, whatever you feel comfortable using. And then all you're gonna do is slip the hose on, zip tie it. You don't need to put clamps on this because this is a serviceable piece. Jets sometimes get clogged, so we made sure that we gave you a translucent line so that you can see if there's any type of debris building in any of the lines. That's very, very, very important because it has such a small orifice to go through. Sand and particulates, if they make it past the filter, will clog this, and if it clogs this, it will cause a rear tube failure and or like an engine failure. It'll get hot. So you have to always check before you ride to make sure both of your jets are clean, your lines are nice and clean, and service your filter like every ride or every other ride. I would say every ride, but if you forget, whatever. If you happen to be riding and you're like, oh, I didn't check my filter, definitely pull over and check it if you're in question, especially if you're beaching your boat. So now that we have all of these lines installed, you have like the same OEM hose. We're gonna come in here and we're gonna install our water filter somewhere in here, and then we're gonna cinch it down with clamps, and then the whole install is done. So this install should take you anywhere from like 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how anal you are with putting all your tubing in and everything else. This is not a crazy install. You don't have to change any of your jettings and your carbs. You don't have to change a single other thing. You can mess with your Rave caps. So your Rave caps, you should go flush with so on your Rave cap, there's the red center. You should go flush with the red actual tensioner, and then go in one full turn. That's what I found works best. So you could try that, or just leave it alone. You don't really need to mess with anything else. You've already changed it to where you'll have a little bit better bottom end, and you'll notice it in the pickup end. It won't gain speed, but it'll definitely gain some bottom end for you and just like smoother out to the mid-range. All right, so now you have all your lines ran, all your fittings are in. You're gonna somewhere find a place for this filter. Most of the time, I like to put it right here. So I'll just line it up with my hose to where it's not bumping into this and it's kind of in its own free space. I'll line up my filter, figure out where I want to cut it. So the first one's gonna be here. Okay, so then once I have that, temporarily, I'll put the filter in, figure out where I want this and how I want it to lay. Now you can make this come further off. So like for example, if you don't want to cut your line at all, you can have it tensioned like that. I don't really like that. So I'm going to have it lay flatter. I go a little bit longer just because I can always cut more back if I have to. If you cut too much, you're replacing the whole line. Okay.
Sure you have a sharp blade?
Yeah, definitely. So then you're just gonna pop this in. As long as you're happy with that and it is facing down, then you're good to go. The only other thing you should note is that the filter does have a direction on it. There's an arrow on it. So like this one we just put in temporarily, it was facing towards the back of the boat. We want it facing towards our cylinder head. So we'll put clamps on it, cinch it down, and the entire install after that is completely done. All right, so this is your stock Venturi that comes on your XP or your GSX or anything 787 for that matter. I believe this is the same one that comes on a 717. I haven't touched the 717 XP in a while, so I couldn't tell you, but it should be the same. So if we're measuring this Venturi opening, we were at 85.95. We are going for 85.88 because the difference between a venturi and a steering, you want to be anywhere from 2 to 3 millimeter for optimal performance. So if you measure your stock steering nozzle, note that it has the crossbar between the opening. If you're measuring that, so you are damn near 10 millimeters off between the venturi and the steering. Here's our new nozzle that we are offering on our store. This is smoothed out inside from the casting marks, sanded down, then sandblasted and powder coated to make it look like a brand new product. And then if you measure that, we're at 0. Measure that, you're at 88.29. So with our steering nozzle, which is now in our store, all you would have to do is there's a top bolt and a bottom bolt on your trim ring. Take the 2 Allen screws off, put the new nozzle on, bolt it in, and you're done. All you have to do is, besides that, is mess with steering. So with this assembly, you now have a incredibly cheap budget R&D nozzle, because the R&D nozzle is anywhere from $350 to $450 if you could find one, and you can do the same damn thing with this. All right, so just to show you it on the ski, here's the new nozzle that we already installed, but if you're taking off your old nozzle, 10 mil, loosen your screws for your steering cable. You have 2 Allen screws on the top and bottom. The whole assembly pulls off. You put the new assembly on, 2 screws, steering, and you're done. This is also the powder coated product, so it looks great. It looks brand factory new. We powder coated the trim ring on this one, so if you want it to look all the way new, especially when you look at the back of the hull, consider powder coating your trim ring. But this is what the product looks like, and this is now 85.88 nozzle. All right, so this is our R&D trim tab. It is a 3-degree trim tab. They're hard to find. If you find them, it'll look something like this, where they are already like kind of worn, nasty, and you'll pay somewhere between like $225 to $275, right? So we took an R&D 3-degree trim tab and we made brand new R&D replica trim tabs that are 3-degree. They are billet aluminum. They are the exact same, and these are also now in our store. Helps with porpoising, helps with just overall handling of the machine. It's definitely a really nice upgrade. We have these in aluminum and we have them in black. We have limited quantities of these as of right now. We are getting more, but as we're gonna see how they sell. So that's also on our store. Again, on our homepage, scroll down, it'll show all of our new products. And then the only other thing that I'm gonna go over with you guys today is that it seems like a lot of people have been asking in our videos what they have to do to add flame arresters. So they want to take the breather box off that says Bombardier on the top, or Sea-Doo on the top, and they want to put either Pro Ks or a R&D plenum on it. So I'm going to just quickly go over settings of what you're going to do for your carbs if you want to do that. I'm not going to go over how to rebuild a carb. We have a video on how to rebuild your carb. You'll just take my jetting notes that I'm going to give you now to apply it while you're rebuilding your carb, or if you just want to disassemble your carb and do the settings. So I will dig out my notes and I'll go over that now. All right, so a question we get asked often on our videos after you guys see our restorations done is what we do to install either Pro K filters or something like this R&D in-tank plenum. So I'm gonna go over that with you now. I'm gonna tell you what to order. I'm gonna tell you settings to start with. So to order, I would go to OSD because I know it's 100% genuine Mikuni parts. And I'm gonna order the following. I'm gonna order 2 145 high-speed jets, 2 75 low-speed jets, 2 2.0 Nielsen seats, and 2 95-gram springs. You're gonna install those in your carburetors, but before you do so, I'd highly recommend rebuilding your carbs if you have never done so. Same thing with fuel lines. If you've never done fuel lines or the filter or anything in the front, you've never serviced your fuel system, definitely do it. Nick and I have videos explaining to you step-by-step how to do that on our channel. Just use that as reference how to do it. So now that you have your carburetors rebuilt and the parts are installed, you're gonna adjust your speed settings. So your high speed setting on your mag carb, which is the front of it by your handlebars, your high speed up top is gonna be set to 0. When I say 0, I don't mean take the flathead screwdriver and crank that thing till you can not turn it anymore. It just needs to be snug. It should be set that way from factory, but just to make sure, back it out a little bit and then make sure it's snug while you're rebuilding it. So you're gonna have to remove those anyways. But that's your first setting on your mag carb, your high speed, 0. Your PTO carb, your high speed is 1/4 out, and then you're gonna take both of your low speeds, and those are gonna be 3/4 of the way out. So you're gonna make sure that your idle is 100% perfect. On a trailer, it can be set to 2,500 to 2,900. In the water, it can be set to 1,500 to 1,700. You're gonna let it idle around for 10 minutes, and then you're gonna grab the throttle to 1/3 open, cruise it around. Make sure you don't have any low spots, any bogs, anything like that. If you do have bogs, you're gonna adjust your low speed settings to 1/8 at a time. So if you're at 3/4 and you're experiencing bogging, you're going to eighth turn, crank it 1/3 open, see what happens. Keep going. Don't go past 2.5 turns out, because if you're 2.5 turns out, there's something else wrong. Either you put the carburetor wrong, you order the wrong jets, you ordered Amazon jets and they're not truly 145s, whatever, right? So with those settings, it is a really good starting point so that you can have optimal performance with everything you have in it, especially if you bought the jet kit and you have your steering or whatever you're doing, right? Even if you have, well, on different pipes would be different, but you can even do that without our kit. You can do it with a factory pipe, not factory pipe, but OEM pipe. Those settings should be pretty spot on for you. So those who have asked in the past, there's my settings.
Watch.
All right, so I know we said we were gonna do handlebars in this video. Nick and I have decided to do a separate video on that just because it's gonna be a little bit longer of a video. So stay tuned in next week or maybe the week after for the handlebar video.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in to this week's video. We hope you enjoyed that one. We just wanted to go over the new products that we're offering on our store. Also to, show you guys how to install the jet kit, the pump, trim tabs, all that good stuff. Again, they are all live on the website. You will see the tabs for under performance and they are on the homepage. Also, another reminder, GSX giveaway is still going on. We're about 50 spots in and there's 100 and something plus spots.
145.
145.
No matter what, she gone.
No matter what, she's getting raffled off. We're gonna do a Facebook Live or YouTube Live, however, that way we can show everybody that we're not pulling any tricks or pranks, whatever. So yeah, enter in, get your tickets, 75 bucks. If you order a turf product with a ticket on the same order, you will get an additional entry for the GSX.
Free.
Free.
100% free.
100% free. Again, if it's 1 spot or 100 spots, we're giving that ski away. So right now, if you buy a ticket, odds are in your favor because we're only at like, what, 50 or so?
Yeah.
So we're trying to get that number up higher. Not only is that good for you guys, but the more entries we get, it helps us out. The website helps us out, so that's why we're trying to innovate, get some new products out for you guys because
the videos cost money, dog.
if you've ever had a YouTube account, you know that YouTube does not pay diddly squat. So
dude, I did the math today. 31,000 views, and we're making 236 bucks. So each view is 0.007 cents.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a video about that because we've been getting a lot of criticism, not on the YouTube channel, but through emails and texts and stuff. And we feel like we want to break that down for you guys to show you that we're not doing this to make millions. It may look like we're doing well because Nick has a pretty nice garage and you see the dirt bikes and all the jet skis, but
well, and all the stuff is my business.
That and a lot of stuff in this garage is accounted for. It's not. It has nothing to do with Daily Wrench.
No, everything in the garage is German Power Sports.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we're getting off topic, but that's a video for another day. But again, we hope you guys enjoyed today. If you do have any questions about the new products on the website, t-shirts, merchandise, GSX giveaways, anything like that, let us know in the comments below. Send us an email. I think that's it. So with all due respect, we'll see you on the next video.